Hello, we're back here on the couch, and today I have the amazing Claire, who's the CEO and founder of Stillaware. Thanks for coming.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
So this is one of those topics that's really important that we talk about, and certainly once you hear Claire start to talk, you'll realise how important it is, and probably something that doesn't always come up as much in conversation or as much as it really should. So maybe you can go through how you first founded the amazing Stillaware.
Sure. Well, I suppose it's important to understand what Stillaware is all about.
Yes.
So we're an organisation that is about stillbirth prevention. We're an awareness organisation. So we operate purely for the crucial time in pregnancy, which is all of it. So from the beginning right through to the end. So the 9 months is where we fit in terms of raising awareness of stillbirth to help prevent it from happening to mums and families. We work very closely with researchers and very closely with support organisations, but our main remit is actually to raise awareness of stillbirth and provide education of stillbirth to therefore bring action and hopefully create change. Stillaware started as a result of me being personally affected by it myself. We only exist because no one else was in the space. And that baffles me, to no end, that I don't understand why no one has done this prior. Because stillbirth is the leading cause of childhood death in Australia. And has been so for more than 20 years. So we really have to do something about it. It's the time has come where it's no longer going to be a silent subject. And I understand that the word itself seems uncomfortable. Stillbirth is something that maybe people have heard of, but a majority of people may think, oh, it's fixed. It was something that was medieval. It happened in King Henry VIII's time. Exactly, but unfortunately it happens every day in Australia, 6 times a day. Wow. So, and when we're talking stillbirth, that's the death of a baby in utero prior to birth, and that's any time from 20 weeks gestation right through to term and post-term. So what we're about is actually preventing those that can be prevented, and that is predominantly the 3rd trimester stillbirths.
You have a trust in doctors that say, oh, we're confident it's going to be okay. It's that moment that you realise that you won't be going home with your child, as you should. Every parent that has a child should be leaving the hospital with with that child in their arms.
And one of the most crucial conversations that we must be having is about stillbirth and stillbirth prevention. And so that's what Stillaware is all about, talking about stillbirth in the antenatal period and things that we can do to prevent it.
Being more aware. So is that why you called it Stillaware?
Yes, yeah.
And not so much stillbirth support group?
Absolutely, because it is about being aware, but it's also not just being aware about stillbirth. So stillbirth aware would be fine, but it's not just about stillbirth. It's about being still and being aware of your baby. It's about being still and being aware of your pregnancy. It's about being still and being aware of how you feel in your pregnancy and your own intuition. So about looking beyond so that we can hopefully prevent that worst outcome of stillbirth from happening to you.
But the midwives really just added on to what Stillaware the information I'd already learnt from Stillaware, and then it was all about following my instincts, not feeling silly if I thought, things aren't right. You just really have to listen to your baby and know everything's all right down there, and certainly to go and get checked on if you think something's not right. I went in for my midwife appointment, probably 39 weeks, and they said, if he's not out in his due date, we'll induce you. I was seemed moving a lot less, which was worrying. So I shared my concerns with the midwife and said, I'm not really sure, I want to wait till Monday. It's just moving less, I'm not sure if everything's okay down there. So she said, okay, well, we'll get you up to upstairs and put you on the CTG, see what's happening. So went upstairs and they monitored him for a while. His heartbeat and everything was fine, but the doctor came in with a mobile ultrasound, took a look and said, oh, there's not much amniotic fluid there and there's a lot of baby, which surprised me because when the midwives had done their measurements, they said, oh, it was a small baby. So to hear that it was, well, a big child in there and not much fluid left sort of explained why he wasn't moving that much. So they said, we've got a lot did you want to wait till Monday? Because it's really best to get him out as soon as possible. If you wait till Monday, you've got a lot to lose by waiting till Monday because you might lose him. So I said, oh yeah, get him out as soon as possible. And then, yeah, it was induced and I was really grateful for that. And yeah, the worries were over as soon as he was out and I've met him. Yeah, it was just such a relief really, because I can't even imagine what poor families go through that have to, I always thought it was bad that families had to leave their baby on neonatal care, but I had no idea how many families actually go home without their child at all. So I can't even imagine what those families go through. So to have him in my arms and healthy was just, can't even describe it really, it's just, yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, I felt that the midwives were really good that I saw and they, took my concerns seriously. And when I went to my childcare education classes towards the end of the pregnancy, they actually spoke about stillaware, which was really good, and said, please follow your instincts. Don't feel stupid by coming in or calling if you think something's not right. So yeah, they did really good at the hospital. I was really pleased with the care and support I got there. I dread to think what would have happened if I'd have waited till Monday, if I hadn't have said at the midwife appointment, oh, he is moving a bit less, because I wouldn't have had a clue about any of that if it wasn't for stillaware. I just thought you were pregnant and that was it. And especially after I had a miscarriage at 12 weeks the year before Arla was born, so it was really just great to finally have a baby in my arms and have followed my instincts and made sure it was okay. Stillaware, an amazing organisation. I've got nothing but the utmost respect for them and what they do, continually saving families, saving the heartbreak and the grief, saving lives. It's just amazing, and yeah, keep up the good work at Stillaware.
The silence is just heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. I wish that I knew that stillbirth was even a thing. I'd never heard of it. I never knew that it could happen. It could quite possibly have saved his life if I'd had an idea that stillbirth was something and that movements were something to be concerned about if there was any changes. Just listen to your body, listen to yourself. Don't ever feel that you're wasting anybody's time by taking yourself into the hospital if you've got any concerns about anything. You are your baby's best advocate. You as his or her mother are the only person that can help them and keep them alive when they're in utero. And if you've got any concerns or any reason to believe that there is a problem or that there's something wrong, you need to speak up and say something. Don't ever feel like you're wasting anybody's time, because it could just save your baby's life.
So with Stillaware, an amazing organisation which is largely run by volunteers.
Definitely, yes.
And not for profit, so donations, volunteers.
Yes.
Make fantastic brochures that get distributed to clinicians and then Claire all around Australia, educating everybody.
Yes.
There'll be lots of people that will want to get involved and help out.
Yeah.
You do lots of fundraising and always need more help.
We always need hands on deck, and we certainly always need funds. We do a lot with a little. Every dollar that is donated to us by virtue of fabulous people that donate their time and services, we actually make it fivefold. So every dollar that's given to us turns into $5. So you know the dollar goes very, very far in our organisation. And what I will say about that is, we appreciate anything and everything, and it's also not always just about the money. It's also about the time and the energy that you might be able to share. But even if you can't physically give time or money, what you can also give is sharing the information with people. So talking openly about stillbirth and preventative measures is a great support for us, because we are all about awareness. Awareness is our motto, getting this out there so that people can understand that there is a way for a safer pregnancy, that stillbirth is stillbirth. It happens every day in Australia 6 times, and that means that there are 6 families that are going home with empty arms and broken hearts, and that's what we're trying to prevent from happening. And the good news is it works. We also know that overseas has shown that in doing this, we have the ability to prevent 50% of all stillbirths. So that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
We're talking about 3 babies a day that we could be saving just through those very easy to do things, monitoring movements, strength, pattern and frequency, sleeping on your side, and trusting yourself and your baby, trusting your instincts. So yes, time, money, and also just sharing information. But we're a not-for-profit that has no government funding, or no funding actually. We rely on the generosity and charity of others to do the good work that we do and distribute hundreds of thousands of brochures and educate thousands and thousands of people and clinicians every year in Australia.
Which does, it's been 5 years, hasn't it?
Yes, our 5th year coming out. Yeah.
Which is momentous and incredible that you've, if you think of when you started to what you're doing now, which is incredible.
Yes.
But it's certainly only just begun.
Absolutely. It's a snowball effect that's just growing and growing and growing. We always knew that it was needed and that it would get legs quickly because no one had done it before, but there was certainly people needing this in a space, certainly, and clinicians too that said, yes, we need something done about this and we've needed it for such a long time. So it's integral that we continue to do this good work in this space and provide an avenue of awareness and support for 9 months in the pregnancy period. So I think we're not going anywhere. We're only growing.
Yes,
so
absolutely. Thank you. That's, incredible, easy to understand, fantastic information that hopefully for lots of you in your pregnancy will not only help you, but maybe, start that conversation a lot more easily. It's not something to shy away from.
No.
It's very important that it's discussed because, we need to. We can't just pretend that it doesn't happen.
That's right. And these children deserve us talking about it because these are our babies, born healthy, well, and with or without breath. They're our children, and they deserve every validation that they can get. So we just want you to have safe pregnancies and to do our best to help you have a safer pregnancy so that you have the best opportunity to take your baby home and in your arms and have a long and happy parenting life with them outside of the womb too. So thanks so much everybody for listening and for having us here tonight. It's been amazing.
Great. Thank you, Claire. Thanks everyone.